We have members of the National Football Foundation that are a part of our staff. We also get to vote for things like the College Football Hall of Fame and more. And Phil Marwell, who does a great job with the National Football Foundation. The weekly Super 16 poll, you're looking at David Williams, former Illinois All-American and College Football Hall of Famer. He gave me a list of a lot of people to contact to get their opinion on the Super 16 poll and really on their career and also the college football season. David, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. So what was it like when you got that call that you were going into the College Football Hall of Fame?
Back when I got the call, it was a dream come true because when you get elected to the Hall of Fame, you are joining, the greats of the game. All the people you looked up to, all the great players you watched growing up and you played against. And then when they call you, you are in that elite club. So that was very exciting for me. And my parents got to enjoy it as well.
So you were dominant at Illinois. Would you say that you guys' stretch as a team is the best stretch that the Illini have had in their history? Or is there a better one? Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
In the 80s, because we had a coach that recruited like top-ranked quarterbacks. They went from Dave Wilson to Tony Eason to Jack Trudeau to Jeff George. Those are all first-round draft pick quarterbacks. So, and his system, he came out of the Bill Walsh system. Mm-hmm. So he knew how to put up points on the board, and he had quarterbacks that could actually, sling it.
Was there any sort of adjustment going from being a California guy to the smack dab in the middle of the country in Illinois?
Yeah, the winters.
Yeah, I bet.
Hey, funny story. When you're a freshman or when you're young, you go, in August and training camp and all that kind of stuff. And it was like January when we got back after Christmas break. I called my mom and I said, "Hey, Mom, you and Dad need to send me some money for a winter coat." And my mom said, "Boy, I just bought you a winter coat and sent you with it, right?" And I said, "Mom, you can't buy a winter coat in Los Angeles for Illinois." I said, "So you either get me one or I'm gonna find a way to get one because I'm freezing."
What was the hardest part about that? Was it how cold it got based on just the temperature or the wind that you dealt with?
I think a combination of both.
Yeah.
Because and I was a junior college transfer, and they were used to like junior college transfers that was like after their second year. So it would have been their third year out of high school. But I transferred because I had the grades and my game was able to go after 1 year, right? So they let me move off campus. I moved off campus. I didn't have a car. And then we talking about that cold wind stuff, right? So I almost flunked out of school because I would go to the bus stop and that wind would hit me and I would run back to my room and get into bed.
Like with a heating pad or whatever you found, right?
Whatever you find.
Whatever you find.
Yeah, that cuts right through you. Well, look, it worked out for you eventually. You're in you played many years in the CFL. Now, granted, they play in the summertime where it's like perfect, like into the early fall. The weather then is like you can't complain about it the first couple months of the CFL season, really at all.
Right.
But how much did that You played in the NFL, you played in college football, you played in Canadian football. You have given a lot of different things to this game in a lot of different ways. How much fun was that to get to experience all those different things?
It was awesome. When I viewed it as being a lucky person and having the opportunity to play a game I loved. So it was never about the money. I didn't care what province I was in, what state I was in, what city I was in. I just loved to play. If I had to work a job and I could have played a football game at night, I would have did it. I just love to play. Like I played it like when I was 8, 9, 12 years old. I just loved playing. So I played as hard as I could. as long as I could until they blew the whistle and told me to get off the field.
You had 101 catches in 1984. And as we've said, you put up huge numbers throughout your career. Were you almost in some ways ahead of your time with the way you see the ball being slung around these days to receivers?
But that was the system. That was Mike White. He had that Bill Walsh system.
Right.
So I was fortunate enough to play in that system. And I chose Illinois, one, because my big brother was playing there, and two, because when you watch those guys play on TV, they were throwing the ball all over the place. And like I met John Robinson, recruited me at USC, but Marcus Allen had just won the Heisman Trophy. And he said, "Hey, we want you to come here and sign. You're going to be our guy." And I said, "Man, you guys pitched the ball too much."
Yeah, running back you or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. And he told my mom, he's like, "Hey," he told my mom, "Oh, we change our offense for those, we'll change our offense to fit him, right?" And I told my mom, I said, "Mom and Dad, what does OJ, Mike Garrett, Ricky Bell, Anthony Davis, Marcus Allen, and Charlie White have in common?" And she said, "What?" I said, "They all play running back."
Yeah.
That's not what I play.
Yeah.
David, you had the great opportunity to play with a lot of great quarterbacks in your time. You mentioned Jack Trudeau was your quarterback at Illinois, and he had a very long NFL career. He was a great college quarterback. Who was your favorite that you got to play with? I think if my math is right, you played with Doug Flutie in the CFL for a little bit, right?
I never played.
You missed him. You guys missed him.
Oh,
but he's the one person I would stand on the sideline and leave the water alone, and I would just watch him because he was fantastic to play. My favorite quarterback, I got to play with him a few times, and I won a Grey Cup. His name was Matt Dunnigan. He was a tough competitor, and he had a cannon, and we just saw eye to eye. Sometimes he would come up and call a play, and I could be out wide, and I would look at him, and I'd look in the middle of the field, and we'd see it wasn't a safety. We wouldn't even change the play. I would just change my route and run where that safety was not, and he'd throw it. So I got to play with a gunslinger with a cannon, so I just had a ball.
David, one more question from me, and we appreciate it. Again, a member of the the College Football Hall of Fame, National Football Foundation, and I mentioned Phil Marwell, who given us a lot of contact names, and we appreciate that. Michael Bishop will be on with us. We've had him on before, K-State great, on Wednesday. So you're a part of that Super 16 poll.
Yes, sir.
And obviously, you hear a lot of discussion about the AP or the coaches poll. What's that like, and how long, and do you grind on that every week before you have that sent out?
I grind on it. I do. I sent mine out last week. And the reason you want to be fair, right? Because you got to look at some of the schedules. Like Indiana, I wouldn't rank them high last year because I looked at their schedule, and they didn't play anybody. They played like one hard school. So I don't know if you guys have looked, but look at Wisconsin's schedule. Wisconsin's schedule.
We have done it.
You mentioned it earlier. Brutal. They play Alabama, Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State. Like, oh my God.
Yep.
But then you get Indiana, and then my school this year too. We're gonna have one of those schedules, so I'm gonna ding you a little bit if you have an easy schedule. I'm not voting you in the top 10 if you have an easy schedule. I'm not doing it.
By the way, we went last year to go up to Lincoln to watch Illinois play on, I think, a Friday night against Nebraska. Hell of a game. I mean, overtime, great football game. I'm a Nebraska guy, born in Omaha, but it was a hell of an atmosphere and a hell of a game. It's one of those games, if you win it, you're going to win 8 or 9, 10 games. If you don't, you're going to try to scratch and claw to get to a bowl game.
You know what I remembered about that game? That quarterback is going to be really good.
Dylan Raiola?
Yes. He made a huge mistake at the end of the game. He missed the tight end wide open in the end zone to win the game.
Yeah, he did. That? Yep. They overthrew him by about a foot or two. Yep.
That's the difference in a whole season for them and us.
Yep. David, thank you, man. Great to have you. Congratulations on your career, what you're also doing with your business and then the golf tournament and giving back. We appreciate your time so much.
Anytime, fellas. Anytime you need somebody, call me.
Yes, sir.
right,
David
thank
Williams,
you.
College Football Hall of Fame, National Football Foundation, and also the Football Writers Association of America Super 16 poll.